guys? Can't wait for a Superman movie to come out. That's coming out as of this video, comes out later this week. I'm excited to see a new Superman movie. And you're probably wondering, well, what should I read? Is there a comic out there of Superman? I want to get geared up for this new movie. What can I read? Well, this is one of the newest Superman comics. I do not recommend this. As you can see in my thumbnail, what I recommend is one of my favorite Superman stories from the 1990s. This is an annual, The Adventures of Superman, annual number 3. You don't have to have read anything to come into this story. However, this one, you do. And I just want to do a quick little look through. I haven't read this comic, and I can't recommend it solely based on what I see inside. I always go by, hey, look, a story you should be able, I'm going to turn it a little bit here. A story you should be able to tell without having to look at the word balloons, right? And right off the bat, all I see is this Superwoman. I don't know if it's Superwoman, Supergirl. I don't know. I know it's Lois Lane with superpowers. I don't know how she got them. I really don't care. And all I get is this, a lot of this. And I see one Superman action scene, maybe two. I'm already like 5 pages deep into this story. He's about to throw a punch to whoever this Doomsday lookalike is. And the art is also uninspiring. It doesn't motivate me to want to draw. It's basic by the numbers. Again, seems like she's the main focus in this story here. And there she goes again. I guess she's getting Superman out of harm's way because she has to save him, because that's the kind of stories we tell nowadays, right? The artwork is very angular. It seems like a lot of DC and Marvel have this new style, you know, like this Dan Mora, Jorge Jimenez, all of them coming off of like Sean Gordon, Phillip, or Sean Gordon, whatever his name is, Sean Gordon Murphy, that kind of style. And Jorge, the new Spider-Man artist, Pepe Larraz. Pepe Larraz has the same style of artwork. It's not what I grew up with. You know, look at this uninspired Zod, just kind of, it's just not interesting. So far, I've seen nothing of interest in this. And then that's it. The story ends because you got this. And again, it just kind of looks like more of the same artwork, right? The coloring is all the same. I can't recommend this, right? Dan Mora. I have been a fan of Dan Mora since before he was Dan Mora, when he was doing Klaus, the Santa Claus story by Grant Morrison. And now everybody's Dan Mora, Dan Mora. Dan Mora was awesome before he started working for DC. A lot of these artists, before they start working, do their best work before. And it's just, again, the same kind of artwork, same kind of story thing. But let's go into what, now this looked pretty good. I have that. I'm ready. Let's go into what I recommend, right? This is the first of a few videos I want to drop this week, leading up to the release of Superman. And this is a story. Look at that. Already right off the very first page. I didn't get that in the very first page of Superman. First off, you don't really see this in the cover, in the comic itself. But you open the page, right? And you expect to see some kind of, no. This is what you get. First page. Second page. Let's look at the splash page, right? The action. No Superman. No. Well, that is him, right? You couldn't even tell that was him getting his ass handed to him in the first page. Not here. Here, 1991. Right there. Look at this. I'm gonna zoom in. Look at all that detail. This is Brian Hitch. Early Brian Hitch. Before he kind of became, I don't know, the guy who set the trend again for the other artists that you get everywhere, like your your Ivan Reyes looks just like Brian Hitch. Look at that. Look at how many inkers it took to do this book. Okay? And it's just beautiful. Super. Now, the story is this guy, Wave Rider, is going to the most powerful heroes. They can't see him. They can't sense him. And he checks out their possible future. So it's basically an Elseworld story. And in this Elseworld story, Superman and Lois get married. I mean, just gorgeous artwork, y'all. Check it out. And she is pregnant with Superman's child. And check out that. I love this. Is just, it'll engross you, this story. It'll get you going. Beautiful panels. The artwork is stellar. All this detail. The coloring is still, it doesn't look muddy, right? Like I couldn't even tell you that that was Superman there because it just looks, I don't know, like digital and muddy and not it. Look at this. It's just uninspiring. Like that throwing of the, just, it doesn't do anything for me. It just doesn't motivate, doesn't excite, doesn't bring, like I've seen this 100 million times. I don't see this anymore. Look at that. I don't see this. This is not digital in any way. Check it out. I mean, the way he's bouncing the bullet, and then you get this where she's home alone, you know, and she feels these pangs, and she drops, and it's just so well done. And Superman finds her on the ground, and she could be dead, and they do everything they can to save her, and and this is the possible future of Superman. I mean, gorgeous. And then Maxima is introduced, beautiful female form, and it's not like she's weak or nothing. She is equal to Superman, and you don't feel like you have to downgrade Superman, right, to upgrade Maxima. And so she's been scorned by him once before. I mean, even this advertisement, check it out, y'all. Look at that. Superman is there every week. Where are you? He's doing a plank. But still, I'd rather take that Superman than angled, not even in his own book, wannabe, kind of like a little bit of like a little Jim Lee in there. But again, it's the same artwork. If you pull open Aquaman right now, you're gonna get the same artwork. If you pull open Green Lantern, you're gonna get the same artwork, the same beats, the same coloring. Where I didn't see this in that Superman comic. I didn't see this beautiful storytelling in that. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, and the story goes like Maxima is trying to downplay her strength and wants to appeal to what was it that Superman, Clark Kent, was so attracted to Lois, and she's trying to emulate that. At the same time, she is betrothed to some evil. Look at this. You don't get that female form. Superman in a new outfit. This is, I'm gonna flash forward a little bit. Look at that. I'm just going by artwork alone, and this is, I'm telling you guys, you read this story, you probably find it in a dollar bin for what you pay for $1, right? Oh, this is the guy that she's betrothed to. Check out this guy. Oh my! At first I thought this was like a hoof because he looks like some kind of like demon, right? But no, it's like a robot that follows him around. This is where I realized, oh no, that's not a hoof. It's just she's betrothed to this guy because she has to have peace between her. For $2 or $1, better than the $5 I spent on this. Okay, better than the $5 I spent on that. And the story. Look at that. Look at this. This is stellar storytelling, y'all. I'm not gonna give you any more than this. You gotta read what happens in this. Like again, it's what an Elseworld story of Superman. This is the first one I recommend. Now, you can read any of them in any order. You don't have to have known. Look at this cover again, gorgeous. Here lies Lois Lane, Kent, beloved wife. Pick this up. Leave this, unless you want to support your shop. Leave it where you found it and pick that up. You will, and look at this is like 56 pages of great storytelling. This gives you 20 something. If you want to go into the movies with a Superman love, read this. Treat that like if you were Superman, that was kryptonite. All right, guys, if you like this video, you know what to do. Check out the next one that I'm going to recommend to you. Another one from Armageddon 2001.